On a warm sunny day in San Diego, Paul E. Hall's crew is stowing the arresting cables on the flight deck of the USS George Washington. The slender lines have to stop a 40,000-pound F-14 landing at 150 miles an hour, so caring for those cables is serious work.
They're pretty much in charge of the recovery of the aircraft, and they're in charge of the launch and recovery of the aircraft. So it's a pretty cool job, the best job in the Navy, actually.
It's a familiar task, but the crew is just getting used to this new carrier. About a week earlier, they were doing the same thing a few hundred yards up the pier on board the USS Ronald Reagan. Now, if you look out over in the distance, you can see the aircraft carrier stationed on Coronado Island. Now, switching the crews of two aircraft carriers is already a massive undertaking. But this summer, the Navy is trying something it has never done before, switching the crews of three Nimitz-class aircraft carriers. The operation has been informally dubbed the Three Presidents. The Washington and the USS Ronald Reagan switch crews this month in San Diego. The Reagan is on its way to Japan. The Washington is headed to Virginia for a midlife overhaul. The USS Theodore Roosevelt will eventually arrive in San Diego. Around the end of the year, the Roosevelt and the Washington will then switch crews in a sweeping cross-country airlift.
And when we get to Virginia, we're going to take our bags again, walk off the ship, get on planes. They're calling it the Great Berlin Airlift again. And we're going to fly. I don't know if we're going to give each other high fives then, but and then we're going to land and take our bags and board our new ship.
Each one of these carriers has up to 3,200 people on board, and roughly 70% of them decided to be part of the swap. But even with the cost of moving so many people, the Navy estimates it will save $41 million, mainly because they don't have to move their families.
It's stressful, but you know, you learn how to adjust and learn how to work through it.
Jill, the wife of Master Chief Jason Pick, says she's prepared to go wherever the Navy needs to send them. Her husband has been in the Navy for 18 years. At the same time, her young family is ready to go back to school in San Diego, while her husband sails the George Washington around South America to Virginia so that carrier can refuel its nuclear engines.
One thing the Navy is facing right now is significant attrition. So if you look at the nuclear personnel in the Navy, particularly nuclear-trained officers, they were losing half to two-thirds of their officers after their first tour, and the Navy's trying to reverse that.
Naval expert Brian Clark says giving some people the option of keeping their home port also helps the Navy with another problem: retaining sailors who may be burned out from deployments that last as long as 9 months at sea. Paul Hull already has a new ship. In the next few months, he'll also have a new baby. His wife is pretty happy that she isn't packing up to follow the Ronald Reagan to Japan. He's heard similar stories from his crew.
Everybody knows moving is like one of the worst things you have to deal with. So a lot of people don't want to pack up, pack the dog up, pack the family up, and then move. And then, especially if you have like younger kids, you want to kind of like keep them in the school where they meet their friends and they build a relationship with friends like along the way. So I think, not saying that Japan is a bad place, but if you're here, stay here.
Swapping hulls is likely to become more and more common as the Navy tries to lessen some of the strain of long deployments. Even so, some of the complicated factors that led up to the swapping of the three presidents may never be repeated, meaning this could be something of a once-in-a-lifetime event. I'm Steve Walsh, KPBS News.